Hi everyone, Swati and Vinayak from the Dram Club. In today's video, we will be reviewing the Glen Grant 15-year-old. It is a recent launch and has been added to their core range. Vinayak, I know you are a big fan of the Glen Grant distillery.
Right.
But I also know that this bottle is very special to you.
Right.
So why don't you tell us why?
So this bottle, Swati, is very special to me. As you can see, it's been gifted to me by the legendary master distiller, Mr. Dennis Malcolm himself. He signed it for me, and also importantly, he advised not to sell this bottle or auction this bottle. So he said, Vinayak, I trust you that you're not going to sell it. And hence we haven't, it's almost a year now.
Yeah.
Because he gifted it to me on 6th April 2022 and we haven't opened it yet, right? And because now we are going to open and review it,
right,
there is no way I'm going to sell it.
Or auction.
Or auction it, exactly, yeah. So this bottle was like a icing on the cake being about an entire day spending with Dennis Malcolm himself, and then him gifting me this bottle towards the very end. So hence it makes it very, very special for us. So
very interesting. The Glen Grant distillery was established by James and John Grant. James, who was an engineer, was also heavily involved in building the first northern railroad running from Lossiemouth to Elgin. And Glen Grant distillery was one of the first distilleries to have electricity.
So the Glen Grant distillery was established in 1840 in Rothes, Speyside. And until 2005, the Glen Grant distillery was owned for a brief period by the Shivers brothers. And in December 2005, it was bought out by the Italian conglomerate, the Campari Group. Glen Grant distillery is renowned for its tall and slender stills, because of which its whiskies are light and delicate. So on that note, Swati, shall we do the honors and uncork this whiskey?
Yes, why not? And since this bottle is so special to you, I think you should do the honors.
Sure. And in fact, something very interesting about this whiskey. So unlike a lot of other core expressions from the Glen Grant distillery, this one is bottled at a much higher ABV of 50%. So expecting a lot more flavoursome whiskey on this one. Let's hope.
Right.
Let's see what it has. So while I was pouring the whiskey, you can instantly get that floral, fruity notes. It's like walking straight into an orchard.
Yeah, I mean, we've not even picked up our glasses to nose it.
It's quite excited now to nose this one.
So the color in this is again very bright golden.
It's a very classic, a lot of other Glen Grants, they have a same light, crisp, pale yellow sort of a color to it.
What is the maturation on this? Is it mentioned on the bottle?
Ex-bourbon casks.
Okay.
So it's, you can make it from the color as well, right? It's all ex-bourbon, so there is no sherry influence whatsoever. Oh, lots of floral notes.
Lots of fruity notes also.
Exactly, some melon.
I'm getting more of peaches,
Green apple for me. I'm getting some nuts as well.
Yeah, but this, I also get a little bit of oak.
Okay. Bit of marzipan on the note, like a nutty silk. It's more of that cream and nuts. It's more of a marzipan sort of a note on it for me.
But there are also some citrus notes, like a lime. Yeah. For me, it's like a lemon meringue pie. I'm really excited to taste this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm finding the mouthfeel on the texture on this one slightly oily.
Okay.
But the first thing that hits you or hits me on my palate is that instant apricot or a melon sort of a sweetness that I'm getting.
Yeah, very orchard fruits.
Yeah.
Some oak also I'm getting. And there's a bit of nuttiness. I think that's what is lending to the oily mouthfeel. Mild spices.
Yeah, those baking spices that you're getting.
Yeah.
But there's a nice honey as well and vanilla now coming through on this one.
I feel like it has candied fruits.
Yeah.
Like a candied apple that I'm getting. And surprisingly, at 50% ABV also, I somehow don't feel the need to add water to it.
But I will add water because I feel with a couple of drops of water, this one will open up nicely.
Okay.
So I'm just going to add some.
Sure. Like after adding water, I feel on the nose the floral notes have sort of exploded.
Yeah. The nose just becomes suddenly very juicy and floral on this.
Yeah. And even on the palate, I think the sweeter notes are getting more pronounced, which I think is very interesting.
But for me, those baking spice notes, especially cinnamon,
Right.
and a bit of star anise, I'm getting on the palate now. And like I had when I was adding a couple of drops of water, something just I had just a flashback. So when I was having this whiskey at the Glen Grant distillery, Mr. Dennis Malcolm offered me this whiskey at a secret in their garden. Like Glen Grant is known for one of the few distilleries that has its own private garden.
Right.
And he took me to a place where he keeps his whiskies in a
Hidden cabin.
A hidden cabin.
Okay.
Yeah, a hidden cabin, right. And water. What he did was, for water,
Right.
he put the copper dog
Okay.
down to the stream that flows past the distillery.
Right.
He pulled the water out with the copper dog and he added water into my glass with that copper dog.
Very
Fresh water from the stream.
Very interesting. Only in Scotland you can afford to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That fruity sweetness.
Yeah.
It's quite desserty at times.
Yeah. For me, this whiskey just doesn't finish, so to say. It is extremely long, but it's very like those pleasant flavors of candied fruits or even some amount of citrus just stays in your mouth along with the spices.
Yeah.
And there's this nuttiness at the back of it. So I think from the nose to the palate to the finish, I think there is a harmony in the kind of flavors that you're getting. That is very interesting for me.
It's like a bit of a lemon sorbet sort of a note to it.
Yeah, I think all of them are similar flavors. It just carries through very well through what you're expecting from the nose, and you get it on the palate, and then it also lingers onto the finish.
So for me, the finish on this one is sweet and spicy. Is the fruity sweetness that I'm getting, and baking spices interspersed with some oak towards the end of it.
So, what will you pair with this whiskey?
I would like to pair this with a nice vanilla ice cream.
Right. You can also maybe add some poached pear with it.
Yeah. Actually, given that you get so much of fruitiness on it,
Yes.
I think poached pear wouldn't be a bad idea at all.
Yeah. I think I would have a lemon tart with it.
Okay.
There's just so many citrus notes and spicy notes in this.
Yeah.
That a lemon tart will just be like a perfect pairing.
Actually, so both of us have gone for a very desserty pairing.
Yes.
So if you were to that's the best thing about this whiskey, given that sweetness and spiciness. This can be paired with a diverse set of dishes.
Right.
From sweet to spicy. You can on the spicy side, you can have some chicken tikka or kebabs or any form of spicy preparations. So
interesting. So Vinayak, while I know you'll be biased,
uh-huh.
But what's your rating out of 10 for this whiskey?
10 on 10. No.
like I said, you are going to be biased.
No, but it's. I think for me, this whiskey is not just the whiskey in itself,
right.
but it's also the experience of trying it with Mr. Dennis Malcolm and the way I tried it. But obviously, I mean, 10 on 10 is a bit of an exaggeration, but I think 9 for sure.
Right.
9 for sure for me. What about you?
I think I would definitely give it a strong 8.
Okay.
I think it's possibly the best GlenGrant that I have tried.
Yeah.
I've tried the 12 and the 18, but I think this one is clearly out of the park, at least in their core range. The only reason I wouldn't give it a 9 is because it's not available in India.
But it's available at a lot of duty free. So at least Delhi duty free,
right.
And like in Dubai duty free and on Singapore duty free, it's available. So I guess people who are traveling can pick it up from one of the duty frees.
So that's our review of the GlenGrant 15-year-old. If you've tried this whiskey before, please let us know your review in the comment section. Till then, stay safe and cheers.
Cheers.